blamed his accountant and his CPA, and so they're going, well, why did he bomb the IRS? Because it's the IRS. You know who the IRS is? They're allowed to get guns. Do you know that in the United States, the Internal Revenue Service just purchased a boatload of 12-gauge shotguns to be used for enforcement? I'm going to tell the IRS a message. I know how you show up. I know you come in full force, guys, with your guns drawn on innocent people and businesses. One of these days, those guys aren't going to walk away. Those guys that are doing the dastardly criminal work of lying are going to get killed because you guys constantly lie. You know you constantly lie. I know friends that have constantly been lied about in court. Oh, well, they can't lie. They're the IRS. Oh, they can't lie. They're a cop. I already went over one story where the lady that was in the wreck with a doctor associate of mine had expired tags on her car, who happened to be the wife of the cop. Gosh golly. All of a sudden, that tag that was expired and her driver's, it was all expired, was just miraculously not. There's no different corruption in this country than there is others, except that in those countries, you see it and you know about it. And so in order to get things done, you have to pay. Here, they just steal it from you so you don't even get to put it in your budget. And you go broke because it's an unexpected expense, at least in places like Mexico, Honduras, Central America, South America, where corruption is rampant and bribery is common. At least you can plan it. It costs $20 to get the telephone company Hondutel out to install your telephone. I know one guy, his name's Jeff Baker, who wrote the Checkmate, The Game of Princes, who's, by the way, let's just say I wouldn't do business with him, happened to be on a place called Roy Ton when he got in a little bit of trouble with a fellow up in, in the Northwest by the name of Quayle, when they got into each other's throats, when it was the what'd they call it? The Y2K, where everybody was buying food, and he sends the money off to Quayle to get the food, and oops, there wasn't any food. And so Jeff Baker gets in trouble, and Steve Quayle and him, interesting that neither one of them went to the police. Is there some reason why? Or is it just that criminals can't use the police or they'll get in trouble themselves? Well, right after that, Jeff Baker's down in Roy Ton. You know what Roy Ton is? It's the 5th most visited scuba diving location in the world off the coast of Honduras in the Gulf of Mexico, where another man lives that wrote a book, How to Disappear and Never Be Found Again. Yeah, I can tell you the man's name. We'll talk about that later. How do I know all this stuff? Well, I've got those T-shirts. I've been there before. But here's the deal. People, you had better take this serious and realize that grocery store down the street is not a place that if it, goes out, you can necessarily go down to the next one and get any food. They don't have to give you food. They don't have to sell you food. You think in your mind that your entire existence of feeding yourself, which you would think might need to be guaranteed, isn't. But there's all kinds of other requirements, like let's take your shoes off and let's spend billions of dollars to make sure that your Nikes don't have some rotten, crappy ammonia in them. Oh, for crying out loud, can you imagine? Let's get some foot spray for that fungus on your feet, and oh my gosh, you take your shoes off and there's white powder. Oh, you'll be in the FBI room talking to them for 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, it's gotten that ridiculous. That's why Devi Kidd doesn't take airplanes, and I don't blame her. Anyway, it's time for you to get into community. It's time for us to begin to get, it's time for us to get our food together and to start planning. In the meantime, we have some issues which we better start watching too when it comes to the flu, and I'm going to go over that. I like to follow Dr. Nyman's work, Recombinomics, and he has a recent, he has daily posts of what's going on with the flus, not just H1N1, but primarily that one. And what he's basically saying lately is this, that the virus H1N1 has morphed. And although the occurrence of H1N1 is going down, the morphing has been growing. The ones that have morphed have been spreading. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There are some patriot broadcasters out there that are saying that the H1N1 swine flu is a hoax. Okay, that's like saying that the man Jesus Christ didn't exist because you didn't see him. But all historical accounts said there was this man. He may not have been God. I can understand that point. But he did exist. He's in Roman. So to say that the swine flu was a hoax is a waste of your time to listen to, folks. Yes. How long? How much? Oh, okay. Let me do that. Do I need to call back? Okay. Oh, wow, okay. What I was going to say is we need to begin to understand that the swine flu is real. And what is even more dangerous about it, what was the lie? Let's talk about that first. Was swine flu H1N1 deadly? No, not deadly than the regular flu, but it was more contagious than the regular flu. And the regular flu kills, and let's say the swine flu kills the same amount. So that meant that if more people contact swine flu, that meant there was going to be more deaths than the regular flu. That's a fact. There's no fake hoax about the swine flu, folks. Now, in the meantime, there is always something in nature called morphine. So viruses adapt and change so that they can survive. That's their survival technique. That's how they survive. That's how they become, so to speak, resistant to antibiotics. And we call the remedies that will actually take and work with this morphine pleomorphic remedies. Because in the pasteur concept, in the concept that the pharmaceuticals have led you to believe their remedies work by, it means they have to make a new shot every year, right?